Hello guys, welcome back once again. In this part, I'm going to show you how to work with Flutter-Gradient. So by the end of this video, you are going to learn how to build this application. So as you can see this, we have a gradient. So like in the starting point, we have different color, at the middle we have different color, and at the end we have different color. So I'm gonna teach you how to work with Flutter-Gradient and how can we implement it into this list view. So let's move on to this Android Studio. As you can see that I have just created a blank project. This is the code that you guys can see after creating a Flutter project. I haven't changed anything yet. So this is the blank project that we usually create. So before I jump into the coding section, let me clarify a few things. Many of you know that I am an online instructor. I have been teaching on Udemy since 2018. As of now, I ended up teaching 69,530 students. So I have a couple of courses on Udemy. So if in case you don't have enough money to buy my courses, or if you want to get free coupon, then you just need to join my Facebook group and I would love to share my free coupon. You can simply ask me over there. So you will get the Facebook group link in the description below. So join to this group, you will get a lot of resources and the free coupon as well. So now let's move on to the coding section. So first and foremost, I'm going to remove all of the auto-generate codes and I'm going to show you from the scratch so that you guys can know what we are going to build. So first and foremost, in here, we need to import our material dart, and now in here we need to add void main, and inside this void main we need to add our run app, and run app is going to be a new material app. So you can tell it as a header file or the main function file, whatever you want to say, and whatever we will write here, this when we will run our application, this file is gonna be run fast. So right now we don't have any other files over here. So for that, inside this leaf folder, I'm gonna create a new dart file and right click leaf and dart file, and in here we need to write home dot. You just need to write home. It will automatically create the extension of dart. So inside this home folder, we need to write everything, whatever we want to show inside our application, and we just need to connect this home file to this main file, which is our main file. When we will run, this file is gonna be called. So first and foremost, in here we also need to import our material dart. So import material dart, and in here we need to import our stateful widget, and right over here we need to define our class name. We can say home, and once we will write here class name, it will automatically update wherever it needs. Okay, so now let's move on to this main file, and inside this main file we need to import our home.dart, and now we can access the class of home. Remember that we always need to take the class name, not the file name. Maybe you were wondering that I am using the same name, but it is not the mandatory. You can add your file name whatever you want, but your class name should be here. Okay, so now in here we need to write this home, and now we need to write our home file. So now this class is connected with this class. Okay, now we can get whatever we are going to write inside this class. So now if we look at this screenshot, then we will see this, it has a AppBar. So now first implement the AppBar. So first I'm going to remove this container from here, and I'm going to add here a scaffold widget, and inside this scaffold widget, first and foremost we need to add our AppBar. So AppBar, so first we need to write the AppBar keyword, and it contains a AppBar, and inside this AppBar we can write a lot of things. So AppBar contains several parameters. So we need to add a title, and obviously title is going to be a text, and in here we can say what we can say. We can say Flutter color gradient that we are intent to learn in this video, and we can also add a background color. So for adding the background color, we need to write the background color keywords, and now we can say colors dot. You can choose any color whatever you want. So let's select the green color, it looks good usually. So now if I run this app, then we got an error. So let me run it again, because we haven't run our application after changing the main file. That's why we got the error. Hopefully it will work. So this is the blank that we are supposed to see once we create the application. Now if everything goes well, we should see our desired output. Here we go. Now we can see our output, Flutter color gradient. And if you look at here carefully, then we will see that we have two icons over here. So now work on it. So now the question is that how can we add those icons here? So for adding the icons, we need to take the actions, and actions contain a widget itself, and inside this widget we can add our icon button. Okay, and inside this icon button we need to add the icon, and icon is going to be icons, and inside these icons icon contain an icon, and inside the icon we need to add the icons dot the icon name add. This is the way to add it, and we must need to make sure this on pressed. Okay, so this is the essential thing. So we can simply say it nulls. Now let me do hot reload, and here we can see the icon. So we can remove the debug mode false. So you can see the banner, so we should remove it. So now if I run it, it should work. See, it has gone. So let me add one more icon button here. So icon button is going to be icon, and icon is going to be this icon. Icon contains and icon contains icons dot, we can say the source icon, and in here obviously we also need to add on pressed, and we can add it null. We don't want to add any functionalities here, but if you want to add any functionalities, then obviously you can do it, but there's a different thing. So if you want to do this thing, then you can simply write down it here. Okay, so if we save it now run it, so now you can see the color has changed once we active the on press. So let me active it. Now if I run it, then it will work. So our first part is done. So our app bar has finished. If we want, you can simply add a comment here. We can say int app bar section, and for this one you can also use a start app bar section. So this is the way to comment here, because we are inside this scuffle widget. So alright, so right after that what we need to use here, I guess we have done a mistake here. We need to use double quotation, double slash instead of the third slash. Okay, it works well. Now in here we need to add our body, and inside this body we need to write everything whatever we want to write here. So this body, if we look at our UI, then we will see that we are using a list view, right? So inside this body we cannot add any first bracket directly. We need to write a component, we can say list view, and inside the list view we need to make sure that we have added this children of widget, because this list view contains children of widget. If we are not adding this children of widget, then it is gonna give us an error. So for that we need to make sure that we are using this children of widget, and whatever code we will write here, it will show us as a list. So instead of implementing all of the code over here, I would love to create a separate widget file. Just make sure that you are adding this file outside of this widget but inside this class. So right after that, in here we can simply say widget, and we can add here, we can say that we can say our data Okay, so we have just finished. We have just created a function or method, whatever you would love to say. You can say whatever you would love to say. So I'm gonna pass couple of parameters here. So first and foremost, we need to pass the build context. We can say context. Then this is the essential thing that we need to pass. Okay, and after that we need to pass the required fields that we are showing inside our application. So if you look at here carefully, then we will end up seeing that we are passing a title, a description, and the amount, and we also have a circle avatar. But for this avatar we don't need to use any parameter, because we will get the position through this title. So for that we can say string title, then we need to use string description, and the last one we need to use the amount. So now we're ready to go. Now in here we need to return our container or any other component that you want to return here. So return container. So first and foremost, I would love to define the height, like I am talking about the height of each and every component. Remember that this function is gonna be contain a single list view, not the entire list view. Okay, so this one is going to take the single list view, so therefore we need to read the height. We can say 100 pixel. So we cannot write it directly 100 pixel. We need to add the so we don't need to use here any edge. We can use 100.0 because Flutter doesn't support any sort of pixels. Now inside this container we need to add a child, and child is going to be a row, and row has children of widget, and inside the children of widget we need to write all of our data. So now the question is that why I have added row instead of adding the column. If you look at each and every list item, then we will end up seeing that it has one row, which is the circular avatar, then the second row, and then the third row. We can assume this way, right? So before that I would love to add here the gradient part. Okay, so for adding gradient we need to implement the decoration. Decoration is going to be box decoration, and inside this box decoration we need to write the so we need to add the border radius. So border radius dot circular, we can say 20.0, and then we need to use the gradient. Gradient is going to be the linear gradient, and inside this linear gradient we need to add the color attribute, color fields. So see, you can see the colors attribute here. It will give us the color attribute, and just add the third bracket here, and inside this third bracket we need to write the colors. So colors, so if you look at here, then you will see this color like the orange color, then the amber color, then the green color. So first one is going to be colors dot deep orange, then colors dot amber, then colors dot green color. Okay, so this is all about our gradient part that we intend to create for each and every list item. All right, now so this is a row item, and now let's assume that each and every row item is a container. So for this one it will be a container, for this one it will be another container, and this one will be another container. So for the first item I'm gonna create a container, and inside this container we need to add a child. Child is going to be a circular avatar, and inside the circular avatar we need to add the child. Child is going to be a text, and we need to add our text. We can say the name. So we are passing the title parameter, actually not the name, not here. So title, and we need to pass the 0 position. Okay, it has the background color as well. So background color is going to be colors dot we can say green color, and for the color of our icon, foreground color, we need to use this colors dot white color. So let me call this one inside this list view. So now we need to call our data inside our list view. So call our data, which is our method or function that we have just. So first parameter will be context, and now this context is connecting with this context. Okay, now in here we need to add our title. So for title we can add here, we can say the first data, and for description we can also say that we are learning Flutter gradient, and for amount just say some random data. Now let me run it so that we can see at least few things. So now look at here, we can see our data is here, and we can see our circular avatar. And the thing is that inside the circular avatar is that I have defined the title, which is this title, and the first item of this title, which is 0. Therefore we can see the F. If you look at our item, we can see our first item is F of F. Therefore we can see the F. Like if I change the position 0 to 1 of our circular avatar text, then we can see in here the I. Now we need to modify it. First let's add some margin inside our main container. So just open this one, our data, and in here after this height need to eat the margin is going to be as inside all, so that we can take a space from the whole site. Okay, so at 10.0. so now save. So we can see an space. Okay, we can see an space, right? And for this container, and moreover we can see the same gradient that we have in here. I guess not the exact same gradient, but the similar to this gradient. Now I cannot remember that what sort of color I have used for the middle one, but whatever I have used, it is working here. So it is completely fine. Now in here for this container we need to work a bit more. So let me add here maximum radius, we can say 25.0, so that we can increase our circular avatar size. So run it, and you can see it has increased. In here we need to add a margin. So margin as inside only, and take the margin from the left side, 10.0. now run it, and we can see we got a margin from the left side, right? And if you want to increase the size of text, I guess we can increase it, text style, and font size is going to be 20.0. now run it. We can see this is not working. Alright, so let me add 30 here. See, it is working. So we can increase the font size of this circular avatar. So we can simply so instead of the position 1 we can add the 0 position, and for the maximum radius 25, instead of 25 we can use 30 here. Now run it, and we can see actually it becomes a bit so change it to 25. Now it looks pretty good. Now we need to create another container, and so create a container. So now we are creating this container for these two items. So first one is title and second one is description. So for this we need to add here column, and column has children of widget. So why column? Because we have the vertical data. The first one is our title and second one is the description. That's why I'm gonna add here column, and now add a text text is going to be the title, and we need to add a couple of things here like maximum lines of 1, so that we can get only one line, not more than that. And add the style is going to be text style, and font size we can say 20.0, and change the color is going to be colors dot white color. Now Control Alt L so that we can format our course. Maybe you don't know, so in Flutter, if you press in your keyboard, if you press Control Alt L, then your code will be formatted if it is in wrong format. So try to use it. And after this text, add a size box. So for those of you who don't know what is the uses of size box, so after the text we need to use the size box. So this size box gives an opportunity to create a space from anywhere. So we can say space like size box height. If I am selecting height, then it will take spaces from the top. If I am selecting width, then the size box will take the space from the left side or from the right side. So height we can say 5.0, and right after that we need to add another text, and in here we need to add our description. And obviously in here we also need to add a couple of things like add maximum lines 1, and right after that we need to add our style is text style, and font size is going to be 17.0, and change the color to colors dot white color. Now if I run it, then we can see our title and description, whatever we have written here, but it looks messy. We need to change it in a right way. So for that we need to format it. As first and foremost, we need to add a margin inside this container which is containing our this title and description. So add the margin as inside only at left, we can say 10.0. now save it, now run it. See we got an space from the left side, but we should like the title and the title and the the title and the description should start from the left side. So therefore we need to add here cross alignment start, and then it will start from the left side. Okay, and for this row it also should start from the top. So now this row, inside this row we can add cross alignment start. Now if I run it, it should start from on top of this thing. Now if we look at here, that we also should get a space from the top side now. So better in here we need to add top, I can say 10.0, and in here at top 10.0. run it. So now we got this thing. So now it looks pretty good. It seems that we have done a good job. Now we need to create an another container for our amount. So create a container, and in here we need to add margin as inset only. Just add from left from 10, and from top just add 10.0, and now we need to add a child is going to be a text, and in here we can say amount. So before that amount we need to add the dollar symbol. So for that, add the double curly braces, then add the forward slash, then add the dollar symbol. Not the forward slash, we need to add the backward slash. Okay, then it will work, otherwise it will give you an error. And obviously we need to change the color and height. So style text style, font size 20.0, and color is going to be colors dot white. Now if I run it, then we can see this one is coming from on top of this one. So it is working perfectly. We have done a good job, so it looks pretty good. Now let me copy this one a couple of more times so that we can get few more data. So just copy this one and paste it here. See, we can see the second one. Just change the data to second and change the amount to, and copy. Now if I run, then we can see that it is working perfectly. So it is working perfectly. So for the first data, the 0 position data is F, therefore we can see the F. The second one there is S. So it is working perfectly. So it looks pretty good now. So finally we have ended up working on it. So if in case you do not understand it yet, let me explain it one more time just for you guys, so that you can end up learning from here. So first and foremost, we have worked on AppBar, and for working with AppBar, we just need to add this AppBar keyword. Then it contains AppBar, and inside this AppBar it takes a bunch of parameters. So for the title, we need to text, for the background color, for background color, and then we have added an actions where we have added our icon button and icon button. Okay, now we need to add a body, and it contains a list view, and list view itself has its children of widget. Remember that we need to add it, and inside this widget we have added our function that we have just created. So now outside of this first widget, which is the built-in widget, we have created a function of widget, and you can name it any name, whatever you want. And first and foremost, we need to pass the parameter build context. Then we have passed our title, description, and amount as a parameter, and in here we have added our data to this parameter. So first I have written a container and then defined the height 100. So as you can see, this height is 100. Okay, then added the margin as insert all, so that we can get a bit margin from the all side of this layout. Then added a decoration, and decoration contain box decoration itself, and inside this box decoration I have ended up adding a border radius, which is giving us this sort of round corner. So border radius to circular to 20.0. You can choose whatever you want. You have the flexibility to choose it. Now for adding the gradient, which was the main purpose of this video, is linear gradient. You just need to add the gradient keyword, then you will get some sort of options to choose, like linear gradient. Then choose the colors, whatever color you want to add. If you want, you can add more than 3 colors, whatever you want. So inside this third bracket, you just need to add this thing. Now after that, we have added a row where we have added 3 containers, and each container is containing a single data type. Like first one is containing our circle avatar, second one is containing our title and description, and the third one is containing our amount. So for the first container, we have added our margin and child circular avatar. For working with circular avatar, we need to add our child as a text, then need to pass our data, whatever we want to show, and inside this third bracket we need to show the position of our array. Then just need to customize it for changing the background color. And for the second container, it is containing our title and our description. Inside this column I have just added it, and the last one we have added our amount here. Okay, so it's pretty easy, guys. You do not need to worry of it. So finally we have ended up finishing this project. So if you found it helpful, then do not forget to subscribe and join to my Facebook group. A lot of things are coming up by the end of this month, and I'm working on several other projects. So hopefully by the end of this month or in the middle of May, I will be able to release my new courses. So see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.